click the record button. So thank you so much again. My name is Michelle Croft. I am the field sales manager with Celebrity Cruises, my territory being Eastern Ontario, so essentially Toronto all the way to Brockville and up to Peterborough and Manitoba. And so I'm so thrilled to be able to be here with you all tonight. I really genuinely love this brand. I actually grew up with this brand. My father was the previous director of sales for Celebrity Cruises for the better part of 25 years. So I grew up with it. I have a genuine passion for it. And I hope that comes across tonight. So there'll be lots of new and exciting information to share with you, an exclusive show offer at the end of the presentation that you'll want to pay attention and take advantage of, and some information about some of the group space that Below Stewart Travel Vacations has with us. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and we will talk through all the exciting things about Celebrity Cruises. Okay, go. So as I said, my name is Michelle Croft and it's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. We are an elevated cruise brand. So for those of you not familiar with Celebrity Cruises, we are in a premium cruise category. So we're not your cheap and cheerful cruise brand, and we're certainly not your ultra luxury, only 1% of the population can afford you cruise brand. We are in this beautiful category of one where I think, I like to think of us as accessible, premium, and really not too much more expensive for people, but really a really five-star experience. So I really think that we are in a lovely category of a five-star vacation and really accessible financially for most people in the middle and upper income classes. The pillars that really make Celebrity special and distinct across the cruise line industry are the five that you will see here: destination, food and drink, hospitality, stay, and live shows and entertainment. And so really, when it comes down to destinations, you'll see further in my presentation, we go everywhere across the globe. So if you're more of a land-based traveler and never thought of cruising as something of, maybe you only thought of it as Alaska, Caribbean, and Europe, that's not the case. Celebrity really goes to so many different points of the globe: South America, Galapagos, Hawaii. We go to Australia, New Zealand, Iceland, Greenland, all really kind of cool, unique destinations. So really keep that in mind if you're looking at planning a vacation for 26 and 27 and beyond. Food and drink. So this is really, I think, if you were to ask me, Michelle, what is the one thing that you should say about Celebrity Cruises that makes you stand out amongst all of the competition? And I think it's culinary. I'm a foodie at heart, so food is absolutely like on my number one priority list when I'm looking for a vacation. And so we worked with a Michelin star chef named Daniel Boulud, who's in that photo, to help curate some of the menus on board our ship. So again, Michelin star dining. This is not your fast mass market, mass made food that you might think of when you think of cruising. This is really fine dining, high end, and really curated to make sure that we're touching all different palates, all different points of the globe as well. And then we have hospitality. So this is absolutely phenomenal. We have a 2-to-1 staff to guest ratio with Celebrity Cruises, which is absolutely unheard of in the cruise industry. So every person that comes on board, for every 2 guests, there's 1 staff that's there that's going to be able to take care of your needs. So, maybe that means in practice that you're not going to have long lineups at the bar to take advantage of getting a nice cocktail when you come on. Towel service is going to be expeditious. You're going to have 2 cleanings done by your stateroom attendant in the morning and the evening, and they're going to be done quickly for you so that you can come back and have a nice siesta in the afternoon after a day at port. So again, this is absolutely something essential to our brand. We take so much of this pride with knowing that our staff is there to serve and serve with joy. And then stay, it's all about the accommodations in our fleet. So we're always looking to modernize, making sure that our cruise ships are just the most up-to-date, modern. We never let them get stale and stuffy. We're always looking to make sure that they're sort of new, bright, open, and airy. And we're in that medium size. So we're not, mega ships with, 8, 9, 10,000 people on board. And we're certainly not of the small ship size. So we're more in the, 1,800, 2,000, 2,500 passenger range. And then live shows and entertainment, we put a lot of financial investments into our productions. These are sort of Broadway level, what you'd expect, sort of New York, cabaret, all of this involved with hiring the most talented singers, dancers, aerialists, comedians, putting on some of the most high caliber quality shows in some of the most unique theaters you will see across the ocean. All right, I'm going to give you a little bit of a snippet for those that are not familiar with celebrity, just to give you a little, get your palates wet and give you a sense of what celebrity is all about.
I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel a lot like 17. I feel like windows roll down new city streets and cabs. I feel like anything can happen, laughing. You take me right back when we were kids. Never thought I'd feel like this, like when I brand new.
So nothing comes close to Celebrity Cruises. That is our tagline. Like I said, I think we're in a beautiful space, a category of one, and really we think that we stand out across the competition. So I like to include this slide just so you get a sense of our brand really makes an effort to be sustainable. We like to make sure that we're always part of the Celebrity Cares. We're an ethical company. So we have a partnership that we've had a long-standing partnership with, and as a matter of fact, with the WWF Foundation. So we're always making sure that when we are sailing across these beautiful oceans and landscapes, we are making sure that we are taking into consideration the animals and all the environment, and we are always making sure that our fleet is using green technology and modernizing our fleet to ensure that. As you can see, of course, our diverse crew. So like I said, they are there to serve and serve with joy, but we hire people from across the world. So really, when you come on board, it's going to be incredible for you to be able to meet so many of our different staff members with so many different unique backgrounds. So encourage you to come on board. They have so much to share, and we really are proud of that. And then sustainability really goes hand in hand with, like I said, our WWF partnership, making sure that our fleet is always using green technology. We have a program where we're always making sure that we take care of our oceans and our animals. So again, we just wanted to reinforce that we are a company that this is very important to, that we take into consideration all of that when we are sailing across this beautiful ocean. Okay, so we know that there is not a one-size-fits-all approach for vacations in general. And so, variety is the spice of life, as they say. We have three different pricing fares for you. So we have our cruise only rates. So these are really the lowest fares. If you don't want any perks, you just want the base cruise fare, we offer that. You are always, of course, able to add like perks, for example, Wi-Fi and your drink packages at a later date if you'd like. But for the most part, these are the most cost-effective fares if that's something that you don't need later on. The best bang for your buck, though, for sure, is an all-included fare, because if you were to get a cruise-only fare and then add your perks after, typically it's going to be more expensive than if you had just bought the all-included fare from the get-go. So this is where it's going to include basic Wi-Fi and your classic drink package. And then this is la crème de la crème, as I say. This is the retreat. So this is our suites experience, the most luxurious experience that you can have with us. And if you have not sailed with Celebrity in the retreat, I think 2025 Q4 and 2026 is your time to do this, because we are just really making sure that we're elevating our suites guest experience on board our ships. And I'll take you through a little bit of what that means later on. But with a suites fare, you're always going to get a premium drink package and a premium Wi-Fi. So these are things that to keep in mind when you're talking to your Blows and Stewart agent. Okay, let's talk through our fleet. So these are our beautiful series. We have our Edge series, which is our newest and brightest. Very iconic to Celebrity brand. We really pushed the envelope when we came out with this series. We have 6 ships that will be in the Edge series effectively. We started with Edge. then Apex Beyond, Ascent, and then Excel, which we're so excited about. She's coming out in November of this year. And then we thought actually Excel was going to be the end of the Edge series. And then our company said, just kidding. We're actually going to give her a sister ship. And so she's going to be out in 2028. So we're really excited for that as well. Then we have our beautiful Millennium series. So this is sort of the OG series where things started, more smaller, intimate ships. We have 4 in that series. So Millennium, Constellation, Infinity, and Summit. And then from there, we developed the Solstice series. So as you can see, aesthetically very similar to Millennium in style, whereas Edge is such a departure, very different, more of a modern, different take on a fleet of a ship. And then we have, as I said, Solstice series with 5 ships in her series. And so we have Solstice, Reflection, Equinox, Eclipse, and Silhouette. And in that series, you'll see it's a little bit of a larger ship than Millennium, very similar in style, but a few more venues, of course, passenger count a little bit higher. And then we have our beautiful Flora. She is in the Galapagos Islands. She is there year round. Absolutely gorgeous. She's the one single ship we have in the Galapagos, and 50 staterooms, all suites, and 100 passengers. So if you're looking to do something really special, a different type of trip, you'll want to check out Flora in Galapagos, where you'll have the most incredible experience of your life. It's a guarantee. All right, as I said, we are constantly looking at modernizing, making sure that our hardware doesn't become old and out of date. And so we have done quite a lot of updates throughout the years. And this is just a snapshot of the things that we have done, just so you get a sense of the things that Celebrity puts in and invests in into their fleet. So we have gone through a revolutionization process, which is those 4 in blue there for Millennium, Summit, Equinox, and Silhouette. And so what does that mean? That means that those ships were ripped down to the studs and rebuilt. So effectively, there are like new ships. And then we did dry dock for Constellation, Infinity, Eclipse, and Reflection. That was also quite a large renovation, not to the scale of a revolutionization, but certainly we did lots of cosmetic work to these ships. All of the carpets changed, the paint, everything was done to them as well. And then we just recently announced a new thing called Renew. So this is going to be the renewal process that's going to start with Solstice. And what makes that really unique and different is it's not we're just rebuilding the same ship. We are effectively changing the ship. And so I'm going to take you through actually some of what that looks like. We are so excited about the changes coming aboard. So she's going through a beautiful renewal process and will be starting to sail in Alaska in May of 2026. And so let's take a look at some of the changes that you can expect. I know that kind of give you a little bit of a snapshot, but we are putting $250 million into modernizing this fleet in the Solstice series. And so things like a unique new hull design. So the exterior is going to get redone. Beautiful new design there on the side of the ship. And then we also have, which is like something I can't tell you how excited I am for, because as I said, I'm a foodie. And so when they showed us this, I thought this is so exciting. We have something called a new specialty restaurant called Trattoria Rosa. First of all, just the design, absolutely beautiful, kind of mixing the old world in a new and modern way. Absolutely love the design of this restaurant. But then what is so unique and special is that it's going to be handmade pastas. And I really can't say much more, because handmade pastas is just the absolute pinnacle of Italian cuisine. So Trattoria Rosa is a new and exciting restaurant on board. We also have a new steakhouse called Fine Cut. It'll be another specialty dining restaurant on board. Again, beautiful design of the restaurant, but a steak is just, I don't think, again, I can say much more. It is really something that has been very popular and people have been asking for. So That's the thing about celebrity cruises, is that we're always making sure that we take into account your feedback as the guests on board, our agents' feedback. It's all very important that we are taking that into consideration when we are doing renovations to our ships and modernizing our fleet. So steakhouse was one of the things on the top of the list, and we made sure to include that in our renewal of Solstice. Then we have Sunset Park. So this, what used to be called the Lawn Club, will now be reimagined as Sunset Park. So much more seating, as you can see. There's going to be a lots more shade. So the umbrellas are going to be adding a lot of shade. It's just going to be a beautiful outdoor venue where you can take in those beautiful views, that sea air, and still feel lots of comfort and take in, you know, a nice drink with a friend or family member. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful outdoor venue for you. And then we have craft social. This is so smart. I love this idea. So effectively, on board our ships, it's very, very popular for people to come and do, you know, play games, card games, chess, board games, anything like that. It's very, very popular for guests that want to do that. And we've had dedicated spaces for people to do that in the past on our ships. However, what we found was that people were struggling to be able to go and get a drink or go and get something to eat, and then they would have to come back to the venue because it wasn't a place where it offered drinks and food. And so we thought, okay, let's create a space where you can do both, bring those together and allow people to play the games, play the cards without having to stop that, go and find somewhere to get a drink or go and find somewhere to eat and then have to come back. It's all going to be in one beautiful space, and that's Craft Social. We've also added some pool tables, which is going to be so great. You know, there's going to be books and all kinds of stuff. So it's really going to be a lovely space for people to come together, play some games, eat some food, and enjoy a nice drink together. And then we have the Boulevard Lounge, which is so awesome. Really looking forward to this space. This is going to be sort of a jazz bar lounge, really cool, eclectic space where there's still going to be lots of entertainment, you know, a lot of music playing. Again, you can come and have a lovely drink here. Again, bring that sort of old world, but into a modern feel. Really, I think Celebrity does that really, really well. And so now we are also looking at the retreat, as I told you earlier, which is our suites category. We are really bringing to life our suites experience on board. So we will have the retreat sun deck and lounge completely getting a makeover, looking so new, so fresh. And again, just making sure we're taking into account how we can elevate the suites experience for you as a retreat guest. And then last but not least, but this is quite an important point, I must say, every single stateroom is getting completely redone on the ship from top to bottom. So we're not just changing out the carpet or, you know, the curtains and things like that. They are completely being gutted, redone, and actually redesigned. So it's going to be brand new furniture, all of the painting and all of the design of the bedding, everything is completely redone. And I think they've done a fabulous job, really light and airy and earthy. So really cool. I love to see how that comes together. So that is the renewal of Solstice that should be rolled out across our entire fleet, but starting, of course, with Solstice herself. And then we have our Edge series. So again, I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive into her because, again, very, very special in the Celebrity Cruises fleet because, again, it's so different in style and just aesthetic versus our other ships in our fleet. So for me, a picture is 1,000 words. I don't like to put a million words on a page for you. So I just wanted you to get a sense of what you could expect if you came on an Edge series ship with us. So this is the Grand Plaza. This is really, I think, the heartbeat of the ships within the Edge fleet. So you can see here, this is absolutely gorgeous. These are, well, effectively the Martini Bar, which is in the Grand Plaza. And so this is where our flair bartenders are going to do those shows where they're flipping the drinks and doing those champagne pours. This is where our entertainment staff is going to come and put on some music, some nightlife, some silent disco. All of that's going to be happening here in this area. So you can see on Edge, Apex, Beyond, and Ascent, they have these gorgeous, these are custom art installation. They're all chandeliers, but they're absolutely photo op worthy. And it just goes to show you with Edge how we really push the design. I like to think that when I think about Edge series, what I think about really is that it's kind of a floating art gallery at sea because you come on board and the design of these ships are just absolutely jaw-dropping. So then we also have a beautiful space. I love this spot called Eden on our Edge series ships. Of course, the thematic being the Garden of Eden. So you can come have a drink. That's a floor to ceiling bar there. A lot of greenery, a lot of foliage, of course, but the menus are all sort of derived from those earthy ingredients, all very curated to sort of match the theme of Eden. But why I really love this space, guys, is because we have our entertainment staff come and sort of integrate with you as guests on board. So you're getting a bit of a show when you're coming and having a drink or eating. They'll put on a nice aerialist show, perhaps some sort of avant-garde type of experience. So why, I really like this space is because it's sort of a multi-purpose venue, entertainment and dining. And then I'd be remiss not to mention, of course, the magic carpet. This is absolutely iconic to our Edge series fleet. If you've ever sailed past one of our ships, you absolutely cannot miss it. It is beautiful and orange, and you can see it right on the side of our ship. So it is essentially a floating cantilever bar where you are able to take in some of the most incredible views across the ocean. Again, people might have a misconception that it's sort of a roller coaster that's going up and down crazy fast. This is not the case. Most times it's actually quite stationary, but it just feels like you're levitating across the ocean and it's absolutely gorgeous and you're able to get sort of up close with some of these ports of call. And then another one of my favorite spots, again, I'm a foodie, but I'm also a spa girly. And so if you ever see me on board, you'll probably find me at my favorite space, which is the spa. And so we have within our spa a area called the Sea Thermal Suites. And so these are really sort of like therapy rooms where you can go and spend time. We have a salt room, we have a crystallarium, we have a Turkish bath style room, sauna, steam room, all kinds, and that are sort of touching all of your senses and awakening all of your senses. And so that Sea Thermal Suites area is absolutely unlimited and complimentary for our Aqua Class guests. If you're not in Aqua Class, that's okay. You're absolutely able to come and visit. You just need to pay a daily rate, but it is so worth it. And you will feel so refreshed, so restored. I promise you, absolutely amazing. Love the experience at the Sea Thermal Suite. And then this is something that was really cool. As I said, we're all about making sure that we're offering you variety, right? We're not, sticking to just a one size fits all approach. And I think this was really intelligent when we came out with the Edge series. So you'll see on some other ships that typically there is one main dining room, perhaps it's a couple decks high. And when we came out with Edge, we thought to ourselves, why don't we kind of change it up a little bit? We are going to offer 4 main dining rooms, all complimentary, so they're not specialty dining. They are included with your cruise fare, but they each have their own sort of distinct vibe, distinct look and feel. So it feels like you're sort of dining in a different restaurant every evening. Now, having said that, they each serve the same thing. All of the menus are going to be identical, so it doesn't really matter which restaurant you visit each evening. But the cool thing about it is, guys, is that every restaurant, based on their theme, so Normandie is French, Cyprus more of a Mediterranean, Tuscan Italian, etc. So they will each serve 2 to 3 distinct dishes on their menus that are unique to their theme. So if you're in the mood for a little bit of a French fare that evening, you'll want to visit Normandie. If you're in the mood for Mediterranean, you'll want to go and visit Cyprus. But if you just want the standard chicken that's available, every night, you can do any restaurant. So again, it's kind of cool that we've offered that. Again, variety and just options across the board. I'm not sure if there are any pickleball players in our webinar this evening, but it has become a very, very popular sport. And so we just wanted to let you all know if you are into pickleball, we hear you and we want you to feel welcome because we are taking this on as a cruise line. We think it's a very popular sport that people are coming on and really enjoying and taking part in on board our ships. So we have now, you can see on 9 of our ships, pickleball, where you can come and play. We quite have a lot of pickleball groups. They want to set up tournaments on board our ships. So playing pickleball at sea, I think, is probably, I've never played, to be honest with you. I used to play tennis and I can't really play ping pong, but I can a little bit. So I've heard it's somewhere in the middle of that. And if you're into that, encourage you to check it out because, again, we offer it on 9 of our ships now and it's just growing in popularity. So I think I have to actually try it myself. All right, so I mentioned earlier Excel, and so I love this tagline. It's absolutely awesome. We didn't find your happy place, we built it. And I think that is absolutely true. So Excel is coming out. She's our newest in the Edge series. She is coming out at the end of November, so 1,640 cabins. There's going to be more Sky Suites. So if you've wanted to go into a suite, this is your chance to do it on our newest ship. There's going to be more Aqua Class staterooms. So again, if you wanted to try that wellness category, the spa themed category, that is your time to do so. And she's open for booking and she's selling out. So really encourage you to talk to your agent about booking on her as soon as you can. I wanted to share a little bit of news regarding Excel. If you haven't already heard who the new captain will be.
Captain Kirk, we are ready.
Take us out.
I love this. I love that commercial. So fun. So Captain Kirk, not that Captain Kirk, of course, but our Captain Kirk, who is a legendary guitar player, will also be at the helm of Beautiful Excel starting in November. So really excited about that. Okay, let's take a quick look at our stateroom. So this is something I think that really, is unique to Celebrity about pushing the envelope design-wise. You're going to see a little bit of a change in design when it comes to our Edge Series class because we came out with something called the Infinite Veranda Stateroom. So if you've never been on Edge Series, but you've been on cruises in general and you've had balcony or veranda staterooms, you will probably have had a room where you sort of open your door. It's quite heavy, probably. You slide it open and then you exit and you are sitting out on your balcony. Well, the thing with that is there's a couple things. When we developed the Infinite Veranda, we took into account two things. Always wanting to maximize the amount of square footage in a stateroom because, again, we all know if you have never cruised before, staterooms are a little bit smaller than your standard hotel room. So you're always trying to make sure that you're utilizing all of that square footage. So this Infinite Veranda stateroom always makes sure that you have that extra square footage available to you because let's just say Mother Nature is not cooperating on one of your sea days, or when you're out there and you want to still use that space. You can see that actually in this photo it's covered so that you can still use that seating. You just have to close the window and it'll be completely, the rain won't get on you and you still don't lose any of that square footage. Whereas if Mother Nature is absolutely cooperating, you put that window down, you get that sea air and you get that open air experience in your stateroom. So again, it's all about making sure that you don't lose out on any of that space. Like, let's just say, again, if the weather's not cooperating, you can still use it for storage or seating or whatever you like. Then on our other series, Millennium and Solstice, we have our standard veranda staterooms. So you can see that's kind of what you can expect in stepping outside, and you would be able to take in those beautiful views. And then we also have our ocean view stateroom, so larger portholes. I would always, of course, recommend that you absolutely book into a balcony or a higher category because to take in a cruise and a cruise experience, it's all about hearing the ocean, looking at those views, feeling the wind in your face again. So that is really the way I would look at it. But just to show you, we do offer ocean views and those portholes are actually quite large as well. And then we also have inside staterooms that are very well appointed as well and bright if you so choose. We do have single Infinite Veranda staterooms for those solo travelers. So reach out to your Blows and Stewart agent if that's something that you're interested in. And we do offer them. So, we know that there's quite a lot of solo travelers out there these days. So we do offer that as well. All right, let's take a look at some of the offerings. So we have a concierge class fare. So this is a step up from a standard veranda experience, but it's not that much more expensive. When you talk to your Blows and Stewart agent about this, you'll see if they were to quote you just a veranda stateroom and then a concierge class stateroom, honestly, oftentimes it's just a couple $100 more. But look at all the things that you get on this list when you just bump up your fare to concierge class. You get your own dedicated concierge team. They're going to handle all of your requests. And on board, if you need to book shore excursions, dining, anything, they're there to serve you and help you with anything and all things. You're going to be invited to a welcome aboard lunch. That's just for concierge class guests. So that's a really fun networking experience. You get to meet some of the team that talks about Celebrity Cruises and our deployment. We deliver things to your staterooms like fresh fruits and cheeses and things like that. And it's funny because you'll see someone that maybe is next door to you in just a standard veranda, and they might be looking at you like, why do you keep getting daily deliveries? And you can just say, well, I'm a concierge class guest, so that's why I'm special. And things like a bottle of sparkling wine, you could request that as well. So again, just these extra little things that you get again, but not for much more of a financial investment. And then I mentioned to you earlier, Aqua Class. So this is our spa and wellness themed category. And so again, if this is all about restoration and rejuvenation, then that's the type of vacation you're looking for. Take a look at an Aqua Class fare because you'll be able to soak that in completely. The coolest thing about this is that you too will have a dedicated spa concierge team. So if you have things in mind, you have hair goals, skin goals, weight loss goals, whatever it is, they are there to help and direct you as to what treatments are going to be best for you during your vacation with us. You're going to get priority spa reservations. So sea days are typically the ones that fill up the most quickly. So, everyone wants to get a massage on a sea day, of course. But that being said, as an Aqua Class guest, you're going to have priority reservation times. The cool thing also, guys, is that you get your own dedicated restaurant. And this restaurant is extremely popular. It is a clean eating dining restaurant. And please don't mistake me when I say like clean eating. I don't mean tofu and a glass of water. Very hearty, full meals. Again, really beautifully designed and crafted from just world-renowned chefs. And so again, you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner at your own dedicated restaurant, and it's a very, very popular destination and place on board our ships, only for Aqua Class guests. And then if you're someone that likes to get up at the crack of dawn, maybe do a little downward dog, I would not put myself in that category, but maybe you folks are one of those people. We can get yoga mats and water delivered to your room as well. Okay, and then I mentioned La Crème de la Crème, which is the retreat. So this is our suites category. And of course, look at these photos. I mean, you can just see absolutely gorgeous. So you will have a dedicated butler to handle all your requests. And we like to say that your butler can handle any request that is legal. So they are there to get you make all your reservations. Perhaps, you go your shore excursions, again, dining, all of that stuff, but even little requests, like you want extra chocolate on your pillow every night. And, maybe you want 2 towel animals, whatever the requests are, even as silly as they may sound, your butler is there to do it and do it with joy. You will have access to spaces on board our ships that no other people have. So it's kind of a ship within a ship experience. So as I said, you'll have your own retreat deck, sun lounge area, places like that where you get to just sip and relax and have just a very calm and beautiful environment around you. Similar to Aqua Class guests, you are going to have a suites only restaurant dedicated for you to eat at. It's called Lumine Michelin Star Dining for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Absolutely delicious. You don't have to eat there every single meal, but I don't think anyone wouldn't want to because it's one of the best restaurants I've ever tasted. And again, encourage you, if something is important to you, such as food, take into account a retreat category because again, Lumine is just absolutely chef's kiss. And then if you don't want to go to your restaurant, maybe you want to lounge in your pajamas, and as you should, you're on vacation, your butler can come and arrange for in-room suite dining if you like. Looks like he's delivered her a lovely breakfast at her dining table there. So again, you're a suites guest. We're there to serve you and do whatever it is that you please in order to make your vacation the most wonderful experience it can be. All right, I talked earlier a little bit about destinations and how I said that we kind of go all over, but just to give you a little bit of a deeper dive, you can see on this list, we don't just go to Alaska, Caribbean, and Europe, maybe the top 3 that people think of when they think of cruises, but we go to Australia, New Zealand, Asia, Galapagos, we cross the Atlantic and Pacific, of course, Iceland, Greenland, we go to Hawaii, Canada, New England, Bermuda, and even beautiful destinations like South America. So again, if you've never thought of those kind of more unique destinations as somewhere to take a cruise, talk to your Blows and Stewart agent because they'll be able to recommend some really unique and exotic itineraries with us. And so speaking of itineraries, I wanted to give you all a little bit of a snapshot for 26 and 27. So as we all know, here in Canada, we always try to escape our winters that seem to last 8 straight months. So Which is great because you can see here on this list, we have a lot of inventory in Caribbean for 26 and 27. And it's great because it is a mix of all of our series. So like I said, Millennium, Solstice, and Edge series are all there. And the cool part is too, we have so many different embarkation ports. So we are out of Fort Lauderdale. We are out of Port Canaveral, which is Orlando. We are out of Miami. We are out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and we are out of Tampa. So again, gives you also the option of looking at different flight options. So if you want to be more careful and judicious about prices for flights, you can see that we offer lots of different embarkation ports, so that allows you the opportunity to explore those fare options as well. And then we also have, as I said, Excel. She is going to be making her debut in November. And the cool thing is she's going to do an Eastern and Western Caribbean circuit. And we're really looking forward to that. And so from there, she will actually be moving to Europe once she's done her Caribbean itineraries. And so in the Mediterranean for 26 and 27, we have 5 ships that'll be there. And so again, a little bit of a mix of all 3 of our series, but again, having Excel move into the Mediterranean will be really, really wonderful. The thing I would encourage you about when you talk to your agents about booking a European cruise is look at the overnight stays, the itineraries that include that, because when you go to Europe, it's all about soaking in the culture and the just uniqueness of these places, the history, and sometimes you don't want to have to feel so rushed to get back to the ship, perhaps by 3, 4 p.m., whatever it is. So take a look and talk to your agents about exploring itineraries, because we've offered a lot more overnight. So 59 overnights in 9 cities overall. So lots more overnight stays for you to be able to take in that European culture that we all know and love. Then we have Northern Europe. So 2 ships. Really, really cool. So I encourage you, if you've never taken a Norwegian Fjords cruise, it is truly one of my favorites I've ever done. I still have fond memories of it, and I'm going back now 15, 20 years, and it truly felt almost kind of like a Lord of the Rings when you're kind of going through these fjords, and these majestic large mountains are just right side by side. Absolutely gorgeous. So Norwegian Fjords cruise, highly, highly recommend. So we are doing that. You can see on Apex and Eclipse. Then we also are in Iceland, which is a really cool destination. So Silhouette will be there. She's going to do a mix of 7, 13, and 14 nights, Iceland and Greenland. Again, a really cool way to see such a remote and unique part of the world. And then we have Celebrity Equinox, which will be in departing out of Buenos Aires and doing longer sailings to Patagonia and Argentina. So these ports are going to have a lot more time, so you'll be able to spend even 10 plus hours at them. So you're not going to feel super rushed to get back, which is great. So you'll be able to explore lots of different countries. In fact, 7 countries during your sailings with them. And then Alaska 2026, I actually just got back from Alaska. Gosh, it would be just 2 weeks ago, and truly absolutely gorgeous. I never thought actually Alaska would be even in my top 5. Having been there, it's my now number 1. I did the interior cruise tour of Alaska. I'll talk to you in a moment about cruise tours. But if you've never been to Alaska because you think, well, I'm in Canada and yeah, I get it, cold and animals and mountains, we have that. No, Alaska is totally different, nothing like Canada. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. So 3 ships will be there in 2026. And as I mentioned earlier, Solstice is going through that incredible renewal process that we talked about. She's going to get absolutely redone, reimagined. And so if you're looking to try her out, maybe you've already been on Solstice, this is going to be like a new ship with new venues. And so encourage you to check her out for Alaska, her debut sailings there. And then Celebrity Summit, I also wanted to point out, which is an open jaws itinerary going one way, so northbound or southbound. And why that's important to call out is because you can add a land-based tour to that one-way cruise on Summit. That's called an Alaska Cruise Tour. And so I just did one of those. It was the trip of a lifetime. I tell you guys, you're seeing the real interior of Alaska. And if you are not seeing the interior of Alaska when you take an Alaska cruise, I truly think it's a missed opportunity, because you can only see so much when you're on the coast and at those ports. When you go into the inside of Alaska, you are seeing the real wildlife. You are seeing the real vastness of Alaska, the true majesty and beauty. And so every cruise tour includes a train ride through the Denali. You includes luxury motor coaches stopping at luxury hotels throughout the interior of Alaska. It is 100% guided, so don't feel a little bit nervous, like, oh my gosh, I'm going into Alaska, so, you know, what am I don't know where I'm going to be. This is like so remote. There's no way to get in touch with people. It's absolutely guided. It's extremely organized, and it's truly the trip of a lifetime. I absolutely loved it. And then we also have Asia 26 and 27, which is on fire, selling out like hotcakes, absolutely crazy. So Celebrity Millennium is there year round. Again, longer sailings, which is smart and important, because if you're taking a long flight across the globe like that, you're not going to want to go for, you know, a short 7-night sailing. But encourage you to check this out, because there are so many different cities that you'll be able to see in some of these sailings as well. And then we have our lovely Galapagos. So Celebrity was one of the first brands that was allowed to go into the Galapagos Islands. This was going back decades now, but we were one of the first. And so we're really proud about that. We feel like it's a very highly protected part of the world. The animals and wildlife there, they have no fear. They have no fear of humans, so they get really up and close and personal with you because they have no predators in the Galapagos Island. So it's a really, really unique destination. And I just wanted to share a quick little snippet of what you could expect if you went and visited the Galapagos. Yeah, so I have to say, some of my colleagues have been to the Galapagos Islands, and it is truly marvelous. They have told me stories, and I think to myself, I gotta get there. I gotta try this, because I have not been to the Galapagos Islands, but it is truly the trip of a lifetime. We offer an ultra luxury experience in the Galapagos, and it's all inclusive. So it is, when I say all inclusive, I really mean it. So we have all of your pre and post night hotels, your flights will be on us, your cruise, of course, but everything from premium beverages, premium Wi-Fi, all of your gratuities, your shore excursions that are guided by highly trained naturalists that know the Galapagos in and out, all of the equipment for your shore excursion. So everything is included with your Galapagos vacation. There's only one thing that isn't included, and that's an optional glamping experience that you can do on board. But otherwise, that is absolutely a fully all-inclusive product for you. We have an incredible sale that is ending soon. It's 50% off second guest for 2027 Galapagos sailings. So if you are serious about it, I encourage you to talk to your Blows and Stewart travel agent, because it's really expiring on the 22nd of September, and I just don't foresee that they would ever extend something so rich like 50% off second guest. So again, for 2027 sailings in the Galapagos, talk to your Blows and Stewart agent and take advantage of that incredibly rich offer. This is the offer here. I just wanted to show you 50% off, and it ends on September 22nd. You can also add a land cruise tour to this. So it's a 16-night Galapagos and Machu Picchu experience. So if you're going all the way to that part of the globe, why not? Why not add sort of a land-based portion of that? Go see Machu Picchu, such an extraordinary part of the world. So you would start in Quito, you do your cruise for 7 nights, then you would do 2 nights in Lima, 2 nights in the Sacred Valley, 2 nights in Cusco, and then you would depart from Lima. This is my colleague actually in the photo. Her name is Brenda Yeomans with her children. So as you can see, they're there with the tortoise, I should say, really up close. Like, these animals they're just not fearful of humans. So you're getting really, really, you know, close to this wildlife, really experiencing it. And then, of course, going to see Machu Picchu is absolutely extraordinary and such a unique thing. So that is the Galapagos Islands, and I think we do it really well. So if you're looking for an ultra luxury experience in a really kind of cool expedition style vacation, I think Galapagos would be a great option for you. We are also doing a world cruise. We call it the Grand Voyage. So if you have a lot of time on your hands, maybe you're retired and you should want to see the world and you want to do it on a cruise, I encourage you to talk to your agent about that, because we have 110 nights and 55 unique ports that we do on the Grand Voyage. This is also on solstice, so very, very excited. She starts off Again, this will be on the renewed solstice, so you're going to have effectively like a brand new ship to sail on all through your grand voyage. But she'll start off in Alaska, make her way to Hawaii, Tahiti, New Zealand. She'll go to Australia, the South Pacific Islands, and then she'll go to Asia. So she'll Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. So again, you don't have to do every single leg of the cruise. You can do portions of it. Maybe you want to mix a bit of a land and a cruise experience. They can absolutely do that. Your agent can book you just on certain sailings within the Grand Voyage. That's absolutely no problem. So really encourage you to talk to your agent about that. And then maybe you have heard, maybe you haven't, we are going into river cruising. This is very, very exciting for Celebrity Cruises. So maybe you've only experienced us on ocean liners. If you've done that and now really are looking forward to what's next, river cruising with Celebrity is that thing. So take a look. River. So we have two ships that are starting in 2027 in Europe. Effectively, there are brand new ships being built. So we've ordered 10 to be built. So two will start in 2027 for the inaugural season. And then the intention is really to release one or two every year post 27. We are starting in the Danube and the Rhine in Europe. So really cool because, again, these are going to be destinations that we've never been able to visit before. And we know that our clients love our brand. And so now this is another extension for how they can experience Celebrity, but in these really cool and unique destinations that we've never been able to visit before. Just to get your palates a little wet, here are some renderings of these ships being built for us. We are so excited. So Compass and Seeker, those are the two names of our river ships starting in 2027. As you can see, just absolutely so modern, so different. When I think of river cruising, I think a little bit more of the traditional style looking ships. But again, with Celebrity, we never are trying to keep things old and stale and boring. We are really looking to push the envelope design wise. And so some of the interior shots and renderings that you can see here, absolutely gorgeous. So Cafe El Baccio is very unique to Celebrity Cruises, of course. So there's a lot of familiar things you might see on board, but aesthetically, the staterooms are so well appointed, so nice, so airy, so bright. So really, really excited for River starting in 2027. It will go open to the public for booking on September 25th. I anticipate it's going to sell out very, very quickly. So if you're interested, please make sure you talk to your Blows and Stewart travel agent as soon as you can. Express your interest with them so they can try their best to see if they can get you on one of our inaugural sailings in 2027. Okay, and then speaking of sailings, Blows and Stewart has actually always done a great job of making sure they get some really great group space with us at some really wonderful pricing. So as you can see on this slide here, we have six groups that are sailing in 26 and 27 on Celebrity Cruises. And so they include, the great part about it is they package these up to include all of the air, the hotels, the gratuities, the transfers, as well as the cruise. So everything is taken care of for you under one price point. So encourage you to talk to your agent about that and get into that group space as soon as possible, because as you can see, the first one, September 30th of this year, is sold out already. And I think it's been sold out for quite some time. Then Lastly, and most importantly, we have an exclusive show offer. Because you joined us this evening and we appreciate that you took the time to listen to my presentation, we are going to give you an extra $100 of onboard credit. So effectively, bookings that started on the 9th of September all the way now until October 9th are going to get that extra $100 of onboard credit. That's for 4-night or longer sailings in veranda categories and higher. Sailing from November 1st of this year till April 18th of 2027. So go and enjoy a nice specialty dining restaurant or something like that, maybe a little spa treatment. You can use that onboard credit for really anything, casino, whatever shore excursion you want to put it towards. It's a credit and it goes on your account and it can be used for anything you please. So really, that is all of the new and exciting things. I've thrown so much exciting news towards you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to open it up if there are any questions in the chat. Let me see if I am able to unmute because I know Rob Blows is on, and I'm going to see if Rob, can you see if you're able to unmute yourself now?
How about now?
We can hear you, Rob.
Lovely. Lovely. Nice. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah, great to see you, and thank you very much for your great presentation. I know everybody's excited about the river cruise coming up. That's a couple years away, so we still have some space on the next year and a half or so on a lot of our groups, and you have some great promos on as well right now, as well as your extra $100 onboard credit. So give your travel advisor a call here at one of our stores, or you can find their contact information on our website, bstvacations.ca. Be happy to assist you in selecting the right itinerary, the right stateroom for everyone. And please do have a look on our website about those groups, because we block those groups like 18 months to 2 years ahead. So the rates are old, and old means lower. So we've got really good value, and it's well worth considering one of our groups if you're thinking about going away, because we've included everything as well as Michelle mentioned. We've got flights, gratuities, drinks, Wi-Fi. It's all included in our pricing. So thank you though for everyone for showing up tonight and listening to us, and we look forward to getting you all on your next celebrity cruise.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Robin. Yes, thank you all for your attendance this evening and your time. I know time is so precious to all of us, so this is genuinely means quite a lot to me that you took the time out of your evening to do that. So I'm going to look in the questions in the chat to see if we have any questions from the crowd. How do you get a price list for some of the tours? The best answer for that is your Blows and Stewart travel agent is able to get you all of the best pricing. So you're always going to get better pricing when you talk to your Blows and Stewart agent versus trying to contact us directly, because they get preferred pricing. And as Rob mentioned, they have taken out group space for their tours well in advance, upwards of 2 years. And so the misconception, guys, sometimes is that there's like last minute fire sales where you're going to get better pricing the shorter time there is to the sailing date. That's just not the case. Last minute deals are a thing of the past since COVID. You are much better to take advantage of pricing, like Rob said, that is 2 years out, because the closer you get to sailing, the prices are jacked up. So encourage you to take a look and talk to your Blows agent about that. They'll be able to guide you and get you all of the pricing you need on whatever sailing is of interest. Are all their coffee bars specialty on board? Are there coffee bars specialty on board your ships? Yes, Cafe El Baccio is a coffee bar and it is delicious, and I'm there every single morning of every sailing that I'm on. So delicious and a very, very popular spot. So yes, you can get cappuccinos and all the good stuff at our lovely coffee bar, Cafe El Baccio. Do you have a number of attendees? Yes, I will send that. Do you match other websites and match their pricing? So we don't do price matching, but again, you're better off always making sure that you're talking to your Blows agent, because they are going to be able to get you that pricing. They have preferred partner pricing with us that the public doesn't have access to. So encourage you to make sure that you're connecting with them on that. First, I can't wait for the river cruise. Me neither. We are all so excited. Those ships are awesome. question. The $100 credit, does it apply to already booked cruises in that window? I have two. It's okay if it doesn't, just checking. So if you booked a veranda or higher starting on September 9th to again till October 9th, it'll be 1 month, it applies. If it was before September 9th, unfortunately, it would not apply. Do you transfer other cruise line points to Celebrity? I'm not sure what you mean by cruise line points, but I will say we do have something called loyalty reciprocity. What that means is under the Royal Caribbean Group, we have three brands. We have Celebrity Cruises, which is the premium elevated brand that I work for. We have Royal Caribbean, which is our family brand with the mega ships larger. And then we have Silversea, which is our ultra luxury small ships. And so they each have their own loyalty status programs. And they're all interchangeable. So, for example, if you have been a loyal Royal Cruiser and you are really high up in their loyalty program and you want to try Celebrity, you just need to make sure you sign up for a Captain's Club, which is our program, and your agent will be able to put that on your file, and then you will have the automatic status matching with Celebrity that you would have with Royal Caribbean. So theirs is Crown and Anchor, ours is Captain's Club, and Venetian Society for Silversea. So it's really wonderful for you to be able to feel like you're not sacrificing any of your loyalty status when you're trying one of the brands within those three. Do you have payment plans? Yes, we do. We do offer flexible payment plans. Your Blows and Stewart travel agent can talk to you about that, but we do offer flexible pricing plans for you. All right, thank you all so much. And one other thing, I think we had a question earlier that I answered, but I just wanted to say it for the broader group was that for those of you wondering for the age group, the general, celebrity cruiser, that is typically someone who is, between 40 to 70. So I think sort of late millennial to a boomer age group. And again, we have a children's program from 3 to 17 called Camp at Sea. But I will say our ships are not filled with like hundreds and hundreds of children. Again, it's going to be more of the retirees, young professionals without children. And if families are traveling, usually they're more in the teenager age group. So I just wanted to give you a sense of maybe trying to get an idea of who the celebrity cruiser is in the celebrity profile. All right, so I think we're at the end now, and I've answered all your questions, but of course, your Blows and Stewart travel agent can assist you with any further post questions from this webinar. And I really genuinely appreciate that you took the time this evening to listen to this, and I hope to welcome you aboard as soon as possible. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.